What's up, and welcome back to Gabe Miller Music. Today, I am making Synthwave from scratch on the Maschine MK3 because recently the Lofi Girl channel, which has that 24/7 lo-fi beats stream, added a new stream and a new character, the Synthwave Boy. And I was thinking, okay, I am perfectly positioned for this. I've been making Synthwave for years, and as a bonus, I sort of look like the guy. But unfortunately, submissions for all of their channels have been closed for about a year and probably will be for the foreseeable future. So I am doing the next best thing, which is just recreating it on my own platform, down to the look and the musical style. So let's get into it. By the way, all of these drum samples and a few more, plus all the synth presets for Tyrell that I'm going to end up making over the course of this video, will be available in my $5 sample pack, linked in the description. I'm going with this vintage type kick. Snare for my Syntact is, I think, the one I'm going to end up using. 909 hi-hats, some extra sound effects. So first of all, I'm going to change the tempo to 90 BPM. Let's just get some basic drums. Got fixed velocity on for now. And now I'm going to select my hi-hat, turn fixed velocity off, and hit shift, and hit that button again. That way, I can have very precise velocity hits. So let's record that. And right off the bat, we need to do some serious volume adjustment. What I've noticed from listening to this music is that the drums are pretty muted and not quite muffled, but not muffled. So for instance, I'm going to just immediately get rid of a lot of the snare's low end because we don't want it to stand out too much. I'm going to double this pattern and add these two elements. And now I'm going to go from individual sounds to my group and process stuff there. So I'm actually going to cut a little bit more high end and boost some upper mids. The drums will probably end up sounding kind of like you've thrown a blanket over them. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's kind of part of the lo-fi aesthetic. So let me see if saturator is good. So now we have at least a starting point for our drums. Fairly simple. Hopefully that will get the job done. Let's bring in some synths. I'm going to start in a new group. And I'm going to load up a free plugin, which I like a lot, Tyrell. And I've already prepared a preset for myself. So a couple things I have noticed. They really seem to like these wubby chords with a slow filter attack. Similar deal for arpeggios, and then also some kind of basic plucks, and then a longer drawn out bass. That's what we're going for right now. So I'm going to switch to chords. And we're going to end up sidechaining this to the kick, I imagine. And then I'm also going to go ahead and add a little bit of granulator. I think this needs to be a little bit more present, so I'm going to adjust this patch a tad. I like what it sounds like an octave up. I think I actually want to duplicate this whole patch. And I think I'm also going to leave the grain delay on this higher version and not on the lower version. I might replace that with very subtle lo-fi. Barely apparent. And then we'll layer those octave up chords. And then we turn this track down a good bit. Okay, I did a bit of tweaking to the synth parameters. And I'm liking that a lot better, so let's pull up a new instance of Tyrell. Sidechain that as well. Let's bring in another one for an ARP. And so this synth patch definitely needs some adjustment. Oh, this is nice. That's actually kind of freaking perfect. Maybe a little chorus to widen that out. That's too much. So now I need a lead, a main top line melody, and you'll never guess what synth we're going to use for this. So I got to find a patch or modify a patch. So I want this to be a little more of a pluck. And before I record my melody, let's just add some stuff to pretty this up a little bit. Maybe a little bit of the ice reverb, which can be a bit much. So let's use it with caution. That's so pretty. And then just bury it. You almost want to feel it more than you actually hear it. So let's try to record this. I made a few subtle adjustments to this patch. I duplicated the entire part for this pretty subtle little octave up layer. So here's a quick jam of what I've got so far, and then I'm going to clean this up in another session. After that first day, I sat on the beat for a bit, did some referencing across some of the stuff that's actually like on the Synthwave radio, and made some adjustments to make it sound, I think, quite a bit better and less empty. This includes little stuff like pitching the kick down by 2 semitones. So hear what the drums sound like now. I also made a bunch of adjustments to pretty much all the synth patches, especially adjusting cutoffs, envelope values, so how much that cutoff is allowed to move, and amp envelopes to make the attacks just a little bit slower. I also found myself just instinctively turning down that main pluck synthesizer and kind of wondering why it sounded bad and out of place. So I turned off the lo-fi kind of bit crusher effect, and that immediately made it a lot better. So that is out now. I also did a pass of this pluck synth where I automated the cutoff. Slowly over time so I can use it in arrangement later. I also gave these octave up chords a bit more prominence and added this pad sound. Also in Tyrell, that preset is also in my $5 sample pack. This went a long way towards filling out the entire mix. So here are the synths all together with no drums. We have simultaneously given stuff more presence by adding more high frequencies and upper mids, but we've also shaved off a lot of the harsh edges to make everything sound a lot smoother. And we've filled out the mix both in the frequency spectrum and in the stereo spectrum. I exported these tracks, brought them into Reaper for a bit of final mixing and arranging and mastering, and here's the final result. If you'd like to see me make some more synthwave from scratch, you can check out this video up over here. And if you'd like to see me make some more chill beats from scratch on the Maschine, you can check out this video down over here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back with a new video in a little bit.